Welcome to the Busy Moms Fitness, Nutrition, Mindset, and Accountability community. This community is for busy moms who are ready to take back their life, feel more confident, get stronger, and earn more energy, all while learning simple tips that they can implement every single day without feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and like they're taking on something new. So in this group, there's going to be three ways to get the most out of these calls. Number one is if you are watching live right now, there's a little Zoom link above my head on Facebook. Click that Zoom link and jump on into the call. This is one-on-one coaching. This is group coaching. I am here live every single week. So you can jump in, get real live coaching and ask questions and get real time response. If you're not able to be live, the second best way to get out the most out of these calls is by watching the replay. Really, it's by following along on Facebook. I'm going to skip that. So join the Zoom room. Second best way is to be watching live on Facebook right now in real time. Drop hashtag live. Let us know your questions, who you are, where you're from, and what brought you into today's call. That third best way is watching that replay. And for those of you watching the replay, you may be watching on Facebook or you may be watching on our YouTube channel. Whichever version you are watching, it is the same exact thing, just two different platforms. So wherever you're at, in the comments below, drop hashtag replay and let us know who you are, where you're from, and what had you jump on today's replay. And as we go through, I want you to ask questions. The comments section lives on. So it may be a month down the road, it may be 3 months down the road when you're watching this. Participate as if you are live. I watch the comments, I stay up on them. When somebody asks something, I go back and respond, and so on and so forth. So that is going to be the best way to get the most out of these calls. Today, we're going to be talking about discovering secrets to waking up refreshed and recharged. And this was specifically kind of created and it was specifically created because in our inner circle, we've been talking a lot about sleep, and I've had a lot of questions from this group as well to learn about, okay, what should I do before bed? Is quality or quantity better? I'm not getting good sleep. I'm not sleeping through the night. So today is about sleep. And we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to see a little bit different of a style today. I'm going to be going into a PowerPoint type of style. We're going to jump in, we're going to jump out. Reason being is I wanted to show some pictures. I wanted to switch up our type of training. And if you are watching, remember to click that little Zoom link above, jump on in and be involved in the conversation. So I don't do PowerPoints very often. So I want to make sure that everything is going to go smoothly. So just give me a moment to make sure I can share my screen in the right way. And if you are watching on Facebook Live right now, I would love if you could let me know if you can see the screen okay. And I'm double checking my little Facebook here because it's good to make sure. Okay, perfect. So on my end, it looks like we can see it and you can also see me, which is awesome. Okay, so as we get into today, like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about discovering secrets to waking up refreshed and recharged. And really that secret boils down to what are you doing before bed and how is your sleep quality and quantity? And we're going to kind of go into that. So, did you know, before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, did you know about 46% of women report having sleep problems every single night? To me, that's crazy. I have always been a really great sleeper. I fall asleep hard as soon as my head hits the pillow. I sleep all throughout the night. I'm very fortunate in that way, and I've got really good sleep habits to support that. But the 46% shocked me that many women struggle with sleep problems, whether it's falling asleep, staying asleep, feeling well rested when they wake up. The other stat that I really liked as I was kind of looking up some of this, because I always find it interesting to look at the stats out there, is more than 60% of women regularly fall short of the goal of 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. So we are supposed to have anywhere between 7 and 9. That is more of a general number. I know I do well either 6.5 or 8.5 hours. Anywhere in between there, my REM cycles are a little off. But I know that because I've been tracking my sleep and I've been looking at my sleep patterns for a long time. But if you're not sure why your sleep's not great, we're going to be looking at some of that. And at the end, I'm actually going to be talking about a 14-day sleep challenge that I'm going to be doing. So if you are interested in that all, drop sleep in the comments below and you'll get a message with the habit tracker sheet as well as the how-to video and what to expect over the course of the next 14 days. So as we move on to kind of moving into sleep, I want to know, I've got some questions for you, and I'd love for you to drop your answers in the comments below. So the first question I have for you is, on average, about how much sleep do you get every night? Do you get 4 hours? Do you get 5 hours? Do you get six? Do you get nine? Drop how many hours on average you get every night, and it can be half in the comments below. I want to kind of see what the average number is for each of you. So the next thing that I want to know is, with the number of hours, your average. So you just said your average was, let's say, 6 hours. Now I want to know, do you wake up feeling refreshed and recharged? Or do you wake up exhausted, wishing you would have more time in bed, that you're not ready to get up, you want to hit the snooze about six more times? Like, which one do you tend to wake up on average? Drop that in the comments and let me know. As you're dropping those in, I just shared those stats of that. I want to go back so we can look at those as you're dropping. That 46% of women report having sleep problems every night, and more than 60% of women regularly fall short of the 7 to 9 hours. So thinking about that, that's a big percentage, and I can guarantee that at least half of you fall into one of those two categories as you are watching. So things we have to think about is quality sleep, quantity of sleep, our sleep habits, what we are doing leading up to going to bed, what we are doing or what our environment looks like throughout the night. Do we have a consistent wake up time? There's all these factors that come in, and it can start to feel overwhelming. But really, we're going to start with just one simple spot. And I really want you to think about today. And one of the things I want you to take away is, if you are feeling like you are stagnant in your health journey and you're being consistent with exercise, you're being consistent with water, and you're being consistent with food, two areas that we really need to hone in on are sleep and stress. And today we're talking about sleep because it's important for our overall health, not just how well we wake up the next morning, but our overall health, which we're going to get into. So as we go through, we're going to be talking about the effects of sleep, both positive and negative. We're going to be talking about quality and quantity of sleep, knowing the difference. And then, like I said, we're going to be giving away a free 14-day sleep challenge at the end. So if that has any interest to you, drop sleep in the comments below, and I will make sure to send you a message. I will be going over the details at the end here, so stick around so you get those. So let's go into sleep effects. Sleep affects a lot of things. Sleep affects our weight, our appetite, our athletic performance. And I know some of you are thinking, well, I'm not an athlete, Morgan. Think about your workouts, your everyday movements, the way you get up and you move your body. Think about that as your athletic performance. Your brain health, heart disease and stroke, diabetes, mental health, the inflammation in your body, your stress levels, your immune system, your mood. So sleep affects all of these. And I'm going to dive into a few of these here. And I want you to think, when it comes to your appetite. So appetite and your weight kind of go hand in hand, because if we don't get good sleep, what happens is our appetite, our hormones that tell us we are hungry or that we have cravings or that we need more, when we don't get good sleep, those hormones are increased, which then means our body all day is wanting, I need food, I need food, I need food. We eat more. And if we are eating more and we're not doing enough intentional movement, we can gain weight. So it's not just important for preventing weight gain, but it's also, if we are trying to lose weight, if we're not getting good sleep, our appetite hormones are really high all day long, and we're not going to be able to lose that weight as well. So our appetite and our weight, sleep has a huge effect on both of those. When it comes to our memory is very important. I don't know if you ever wake up spacey. When I don't get enough sleep, I'm like foggy and I'm spacey. I have trouble putting sentences together sometimes. I say the wrong words, all of that. And sleep can actually enhance our memory function and help create problem-solving skills as you wake up the next day. So if you wake up and you have a really long day ahead and you've got really poor sleep, your creativity, the way you problem solve, all of that is going to be slowed. And we want to actually increase that. So really making sure we get good quality sleep is going to help that. Our athletic performance. So like I said, you may not be an athlete, you may not consider yourself an athlete, but if you exercise and you move your body, I want you to think about that as your athletic performance. If we are not getting good quality sleep, our body is not able to recover from the workouts or the movement that we did the day prior, which means we're going to go into today feeling tired and sluggish and not wanting to do the workout. Whereas when we get good sleep, we feel rested, our body's recovered. We go into that workout strong and ready to take on, whether it's lifting the weights, going for a longer run or bike, or even just showing up for our easy intentional movement. Our sleep is affected by that. If our sleep is low, our energy is low, we are likely to also put off that workout and decide not to do it. So it's really important to kind of focus on that. Our immune system, like I mentioned, sleep will boost your immune system, leaving you less vulnerable to illness. While you're sleeping, your body is producing extra protein molecules that can strengthen your ability to fight infection. So if you're someone who is chronically sick, you feel like every other week you have the sniffles or you have something else that's happening, you just feel sick all the time, really take a look at, are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating high quality foods? A lot of times we're not getting enough sleep. And I know when we don't feel well, we may not always sleep the best, but we want to make sure we're getting good quality sleep every single night and that we're eating whole foods and good quality foods so that we can fight off some of that sickness that's around, especially as you've got kids transitioning to school. You know the sickness is going to make its way around the household. Reducing stress in the body. So if your body doesn't get enough sleep, it can react by producing an elevated level of stress hormones, which is a natural result of today's faster paced lifestyle. Deep and regular sleep can help prevent this. So if you are really high stress and I actually just did a training inside our inner circle this week on the difference between stress and anxiety. And if you are someone who lives at constant high stress, it's putting your cortisol levels being really high, which then means you're going to eat more, which then means you're not going to feel good about yourself, which then moves us into our mental health. And we may not think it stems from that sleep, but sometimes it does. And it's really good to be aware of that. And the challenge I'm going to be talking about is just going to help you create that awareness around your sleep quality, your quantity, so we can start to get a better picture of where we can start to make a little bit of changes. The other couple things that we're going to talk about here is going to be our better mood and decreased diabetes. So for better mood, when we get good sleep, it's going to help us have more positives in our daily interactions. What's going to make us less irritable. We're going to be a happier person. We're going to be less likely to snap or react to something in kind of like with a snap. I don't know if you've ever done that. I know I have, is when I'm tired and I'm irritable, I give a very quick response and I don't always just let it sink in. I react instead of actually hearing out what is happening and then moving forward. So when I get good sleep, I'm in a better mood. I'm more positive. I'm happier. I'm more upbeat. My brain's happier. How I interact with people is better. And I can see that when my sleep is not good. The last thing we're going to touch on, and I go deep into all these inside our inner circle. And if you do choose to participate in the sleep challenge, I will do a deeper dive into these for you on the back end. So decreased diabetes. Some research has shown that not getting enough sleep can lead to type 2 diabetes by affecting how your body processes glucose. So if you are somebody who really wants to prevent chronic disease in your life, we want to make sure that we are focusing on our sleep because it's going to help prevent that heart disease, that stroke, that diabetes, and help prevent those chronic diseases that over time we can take on. So out of this slide, I know there was a lot on here that I covered. Which one of these bullet points really stood out to you as kind of that aha, I need to focus on my sleep for that? Or I notice my sleep is bad and I can see it in my mental health. I can see it in my appetite. I can see it. Can you see when you have bad sleep, how you may fall into one of those categories? If so, drop which category, what bullet point it is in the comments and let me know so I can kind of see what the pattern is. So as we move on, we're going to be talking about quality versus quantity. And the number of hours a people should be getting a night varies from person to person, like I said. So women, we want to strive between 7 and 9 hours. But like I mentioned, I'm more of a 6.5 to 7.5 hour. Anything more, I kind of wake up feeling too lethargic. We have these REM cycles that everybody's body is a little bit different. So we need to be aware of the quantity of sleep we are getting, such as what time are we going to bed and what time are we getting up. And it's really important to know that quantity is important, but quality is more important. And when I think about quality, I want you to think of, I would rather have you get 6 to 7 high quality hours of sleep than sleep for 8 to 10 hours where you're waking up restless and you're going to the bathroom multiple times and you're moving and you don't actually get into those deep REM cycles. You don't actually get through each phase. So quality or quantity. We want to make sure that one, we know the difference, and two, we are striving for quality sleep over quantity, but we need to make sure we are doing both. So, kind of when we think about here, I want you to think of, I already answered question number one, is what do you think is better, quality or quantity? And it's one of those where I remember there was a point where I thought quantity was better because I'll just get more sleep. I'll feel better. I'll feel better. But that wasn't the case. I started running better on closer to the 6 hours of sleep because I was going to bed at a consistent time. Although I was waking up early, I was getting all of my REM cycles in and I was waking up ready to go for the day. So really making sure that is the quality and the quantity of sleep in a balance. In the comments below, let me know which one do you get more of? Do you think you get more quality sleep or more quantity sleep? Are you someone who sleeps for 8 to 10 hours just about every night, but you wake up feeling sluggish and tired because your quality is not good? Or do you get really good quality sleep and you may not just get very many hours? Which one do you think you fall into? Drop it in the comments below, quality or quantity. So, things that we want to look at is, and these are some different questions that I like to prompt when we look at quality versus quantity and just our overall sleep patterns is, do we wake up multiple times in the middle of the night? If we are, is there something that is triggering that? Is it somebody getting out of bed when you're still sleeping? Is it a light being turned on? Is it a sound outside? Is it a noise machine going off? Is it a light turning on? It may seem like the smallest thing that shouldn't bother us, but these changes in our environment throughout our sleep and throughout the night can actually have us get up throughout the night and feel like we are more restless. Are you a restless sleeper? Do you toss and turn a lot? Do you snore a lot? Or do you wake up the same position you fell asleep at night? How do you wake up each morning? Do you already wake up refreshed and recharged? Or are you dreading waking up because you know you're going to need those couple cups of coffee, you're going to want to push snooze, and you're just going to feel sluggish? Like, which one do you commonly wake up in? We also want to look at, when we look at our quality of sleep, what is our pre-bedtime routine every night? Do we have one? As kids, we are given a pre-bedtime routine. Okay, you brush your teeth, you read a book, you go to bed, you shut the light off, you go to bed. But somehow as adults, we get out of that and we're just like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to go to bed. And the things that we end up doing as adults are not necessarily healthy for our sleep quality. And we want to make sure that we're doing healthy actions before bed, such as making sure we turn screens off as much as possible, making sure that if we are tight and we're restless, like, can we do some stretching? Can we get in tune with our breathing? Are we someone who's really high stress? So maybe we're going to use some lavender oil to help bring us a little bit calmness. There's things we can do, and I'm not saying you have to do every single thing every night, but knowing that you have a rhythm, that you have a routine every single night, such as do you go to bed about the same time every night and do you wake up about the same time every morning? And in the challenge, we're going to be talking about that and we're going to be looking actually at that data and being able to find what we can do to actually implement and increase your sleep quality and make sure that you're getting enough sleep as well. So I would love to know if any of you have kind of gone through this, what questions around quality, quantity, or just sleep in general do you have? What types of struggles are you coming into? Are you that person that wakes up at 2 o'clock every single night in the middle of the night to go pee, and then you get back in bed and you can't fall asleep for another hour? Are you that person that hits the snooze button every single morning? What challenges or problems do you see yourself kind of struggling with that you've just gotten used to, but you wish you hadn't? Drop them in the comments below. Okay, so we are going to be doing a 14-day sleep quality challenge. And what this is going to look like is If you drop sleep in the comments below, what will happen is I'm going to send you a message. I'm going to send you a Facebook message describing what the challenge looks like. I'm going to go over it right now here, but I'll be describing what the challenge is again in a little overview. I'm going to be sending you a habit tracker, which I'll show you on the next slide, that you are going to fill out for the next 14 days. I'll go over that here in a minute. The point of this is for you to create awareness around your sleep habits, your quality, your quantity, to really start to get a good idea of what is happening in your sleep cycles. Because often we don't look at it. We just think, oh, I just get up in the middle of the night. But can we backtrack? Can we start to become more aware of certain things? And sleep habits is so important. I try to go to bed around the same time every night. I try to wake up around the same time every morning, like within an hour, because I know what happens when my body does not get enough sleep. I know that before bed, if I'm not quite tired enough or my muscles are achy, instead of getting right in bed, I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to take a bath with Epsom salts and lavender to help calm me down, to help make my muscles relax, especially if I feel like I've got some restless leg syndrome happening that night. I need to get my body in a relaxed state beforehand. So as we move on, right here is our habit tracker. So you're going to track your quality of sleep, and you're going to see here, so you're going to track your success for the next 14 consecutive days. And up here at the top, we've got day 1 through 14. And you're going to answer these 3 questions every single day in the box. And I want to know, how did you wake up feeling? Refreshed, exhausted, good, bad, sleepy, energized, tired. Whatever emotion or feeling you have when you wake up that morning, put that in there. The other 2 things I want to know is about what time did you go to bed the night before and what time did you wake up that morning? And we're going to track that for the next 14 days. When we do any of this, this is kind of a baseline. It sets a baseline. It doesn't mean I want you going in and changing all these things, because when we take on too much and we try to change too much at once, it doesn't stick. So these next 14 days are about really creating that awareness around your sleep quality, around your sleep quantity, and getting a good idea of what your sleep patterns actually look like. And you can use the backside of this to jot down any other notes. We've got a little blurb about the importance of good sleep, the effects of bad sleep. We already went over. I like to include that. And then we have a what to do now. And this right here is just a little glimpse into, if you complete the full 14 days, what will happen is I'll reach out to you after I send you that message. I'll send you this picture. I'll send you a little video going through of what to track and the reason we're tracking it. If you choose to participate, at the end of those 14 days, you'll get another message from me. And I will ask you to send me a picture of your tracker. And then we're going to go over. I'll do a quick little audit for you of what I've kind of noticed. I'll ask you a few more questions, and then I'll give you some specific tips and tricks specifically for you and what your life looks like to help you actually go to bed at a good time, create a good routine, wake up feeling refreshed and recharged. Because there's probably hundreds of tips out there, but there's only certain ones that will work for you. And that happens by us having a conversation. So in our inner circle, we talk about sleep really in depthly. We talk about exercise and stress and nutrition and water and all of these parts that really make up us as being a whole and healthy individual. And this is a really small portion. You're getting a small glimpse of what we do inside our inner circle. If at the end of the sleep challenge, you want to learn more about that you'll have a chance to ask, or if you're watching right now and you're like, I want to skip the challenge and just jump right in, just drop inner circle in the comments below and I'll reach out and we'll talk about what that looks like. But starting here with a free 14-day sleep challenge is a great place to start, getting that awareness around your sleep and really getting an idea of what is happening, what is not, where do I need some extra support, and where I'm actually feeling super successful. So I'm going to stop sharing here. So, like I said, if you want to participate in the sleep challenge at all, drop sleep in the comments below. You'll get a message from me. That message will say, welcome to the challenge. Watch this video, download this picture, start tracking your sleep starting today. And we will make sure I get any questions answered. Over those 14 days, if you got any questions at all, feel free to reach out. I'll be checking in sporadically over the course of the 14 days. But then at the end, I'll reach back out and I'll have you send me a snapshot of what your tracker looks like, and get a really good idea of asking you some more questions and giving you some actual tips and tricks and strategy to help you implement good sleep habits and routines so that you can wake up feeling refreshed and re-energized every single morning. So, with that being said, I would love to know before we kind of jump off here, what was your biggest insight or takeaway from today's call? What stood out to you as that was really interesting? I didn't know that. I'm going to take on the challenge. Like, what stood out to you? I like to say what stuck to you like glue, and it's going to continue to stick to you like glue for the rest of the day. Drop it in the comments and let me know. These comments live on. So remember, go through. When you drop things in the comments, you're participating. You are going to get more out of these calls. So as you're dropping those answers, I want to remind you that every single Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time, I go live in this group. This is a perfect spot to jump on, ask specific questions about you, what you want to learn about. If you're like, I can't ever make it, but I want you to do a training on X, Y, and Z, send me a message. Let me know what you want a training on, and I will do it. I plan out content about a month in advance based on what you guys come to me with. And if there's something that you want, let me know and I will work it into the upcoming schedule. With that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day and I will see you all same time, same place next week. Talk to you soon.